Sauron has yet to reveal his deadliest servant. The one who will lead Mordor's armies in war. The one they say no living man can kill. The Witch King of Angmar.
Feel his blade.
We come to it at last. The great battle of our time. Pieces are moving.
Send forth all legions. Do not stop the attack until the city is taken. Slay them all. What of the wizard? I will break him.
Go back to the abyss!
Fall into the nothingness that awaits you and your master.
Do you not know death when you see it, old man? This is my power. his prey.
So welcome to my deck profile, and today I'm going to show you the Witch King of Angmar. It's my mono black deck that I really love playing Magic the Gathering with, Commander. And there's some really cool abilities. For instance, for instant speech, you can discard a card to make it indestructible, and then I tap it. Another cool ability is that if someone does combat damage to you, they have to sack one of those creatures that did. And you think, yeah, that's not really helpful, but it is really helpful because I have a lot of games when enemies don't want to attack me because the creature has to be sacked. But the most valuable thing about this commander is the discard ability and to make it indestructible. So I'm going to show you the lands. The first land I play is Minas Morgul Dark Fortress. It's a helpful land that can put a shadow counter on a creature, so it cannot be blocked except by creatures with shadow. And the best thing is also it's also a raid when it has a shadow counter on it. For my next land is of course Urza Saga. It helps me get my Soul Ring really quick and has some funny abilities you can do. I also play High Market. It helps me sacking my creatures if they want to exile them. I also play Phyrexian Tower. It also helps me to sack a creature to maybe revive it. And also helps it with a +1 more mana if I sack something. The next land I play is Nyctal's Shrine of Nyx. It's valuable in monocolor decks, so you really have to play this one. It really helps with stacking up the mana. And of course I also play Ancient Tomb. I also play the Crypt of Agadim. When I have a lot of black creatures in my graveyard, I get just a lot of mana, so it's helpful for getting my mana. Of course, Mirrored Landscape. That's because I have some creatures that trigger when Swamp ends the battlefield. And also helps with a +1 on your lands. Of course, the next land will be the Dead Marshes or the Urbok Tomb of Yorkmoth. So each land is a swamp in addition to its other land types. It helps me, of course, with this land that is Cabal Coffers. It gives me a lot of mana. And for the rest, I run a lot of swamps. Yeah, that's weird. Huh. In total, I have 36 lands. And I think it's a valuable, balanced way. And for my mana dorks, of course, Sol Ring, Throne of Eldraine helps me also with card draw. That's really helpful. And also give me a lot of mana. The next card is Cage Sun. It gets all my creatures +1/+1, but also when I tap a swamp for mana, I get another swamp in addition. And I also play Explainer Lands. So when it enters, I can exile a land, and then when I tap a land with the same name for its mana, I get an extra. Really helpful in monocolor decks. And that's why my mana dorks. I have also other stuff that helps me get my mana, but I will show you now. Now for the creatures, I play, of course, Nazgul, 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 and a Nazgul. And there are 9 Nazguls, but I wanted to play 6 Nazguls because I also wanted to have some other cards in the deck, so that's why you only see 6 Nazguls. But it really helps with getting tempted by the ring, and also to give my commander an extra +1/+1 to help me kick players in the head with commander damage. The next creature I'm going to show you is Dread Presence. So it's really helpful for when a swamp enters my battlefield to just draw a card and lose a life, or to shoot something and gaining life. So that's why it's in the deck. The next card, truck called Primordial. It's really fun. It's like, okay, now I have this on the field, and now I can revive something from all my opponent's graveyards. That's what I love about the color black in Magic the Gathering. Next creature will be Terror of Tawasi. It's a 4/3 Death Touch, and when it attacks, I can pay 4 mana to return a creature card from a graveyard to the battlefield. It's really helpful when my commander instants abilities to just discard creatures and then get them back. Of course, another annoying card for my opponents is a Position Agent. So when they are going to search the library, I can flash this one in, and now I'm going to search for the card and put it in exile and then play it whenever I want. That's really helpful because people are also searching lands and every kind of stuff. So when this thing drops, it's really annoying for your enemies. But yeah, we play black, so we play the evil villain. So the next creature will be Phyrexian Delver. It's also a creature that just helps me put creatures back from my graveyard back into the battlefield. But I will lose life equal to its mana value. But in black, you also have cards that give you life. So. Of course, for the next card, I play Orcish Bowmaster. It's a really good card for in this deck, and I really like it too when someone just draws a card, except the first one, they draw each turn to just shoot something for 1 damage. The next card I play is Massacre Worm. It's really enjoyable to see if an enemy has like 21 ones, and you just say, hey, I put this one on the field, and then he loses 40 life, so it's really valuable to the deck. One of the new cards I play is Metamorphosis Fanatic. It just helps me revive stuff from my graveyard, but also to help me with my life, because I gain life because of lifelink, and the creature that I revive also gets a lifelink counter. Next card I play is the Fell Beast of Mordor. In the deck I have a few cards that say I can make zombies, orcs. I call them orcs, but they're zombies. And this just helps me also with life, and by doing some cool stuff by let my opponent lose that 1 life for the 1/1 counters on it. Next creature card I play is Sheldred. This one is really awesome, and it lets you also revive everything on your field, but only on sorcery speed, and if an opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard. But in mid-game, they usually have, so you're like, okay, I spawn this, boom, and then I spawn for the 5 to exile it. And then a lot of other things happen. Wait, let me show you. So then it changes to this enchantment. So I can destroy a lot of stuff. People have to discard stuff, and I put all creatures from all graveyards back on my field. And then it comes back again a Sheldred, and then again it triggers, and all my opponents has to sack a non-token creature. The next creature I play is Cryptghast. This is really helpful in mono black because you just all your swamp step for an extra 1, and I have some game mechanics in this deck why I really need that mana. Another creature I play is Discipline of Bolas. This is just an awesome card that lets me draw a lot of cards and gain life when it hits the battlefield, and I can make this happen a lot of times in the game if they don't get exiled. Another, of course, one of the good cards is Grey Merchant of Asphodel. You play mono black, so everything has devotion to black almost, and you just gain a lot of life, and they lose a lot of life. So, and then you revive it back, and so on. One of my happy creatures is Grave Titan. It's one of the cards that lets me make 2/2 black zombies, orcs, to help me vanquish my enemies. The next card creature is Varagod Bloodsky Sire. It just helps me get the cards I need when it attacks, and most of the people never block it, so it can be a lot of times in one game. Well, also helping my mana get my mana, my swamps on the fields is Solemn Simulacrum. No explanation needed. Another card I also play for getting my mana is Burnished Hearts. because I can, yeah, revive stuff from my graveyard a lot. The next card I really like is one of the dragons. Ancient Brass Dragon. So when it deals combat damage to a player, I can roll a d20 and I can put any number of target creature with total mana value X or less from the value that I gain. So if it's 15, so I can revive stuff from my graveyard until I reached mana value 15. It's a really good card. One of the next creatures I play is Ghoul Color Giza. This just helps me sack stuff and to get a lot of zombies, orcs on the field. Another one of my good creatures is Sheldred, the Whispering one. She's just also helpful if someone plays swamps, so she can hit them. And at the beginning they have to sack something, and at my upkeep I can revive a creature from my graveyard. Another creature I play is Nirkana Revenant. She just helps me by putting a lot of by tapping my swamps for another extra mana. And also fun thing, I can buff her to give her +1/+1. And in this deck I once made her 24/24 lifelink, and when she hit someone I get 24 zombies, orcs on my field, but I will show in a minute. Then of course I play Yarkmod Transposition. Just helps me sack creatures and draw a lot of cards, so it's really helpful. Next card is Sheldred the Apocalypse. This just helps me by gaining life and just to my opponents to lose life when they draw cards. Really fun. The next creature I play is Drana, the Last Bluff Chief. So when it attacks, the defending player chooses a non-legendary creature in my graveyard to revive it with an extra +1/+1 counter. It's just graveyard revival. And of course, one of my big demons is Archfiend of Depravity. So in each opponent's end step, they have to sack creatures until they have 2 left. That just helps me gain board control, so they don't go a lot too far away. And then I play one Planeswalker. It's Liliana of the Dark Realms. Just by helping me get to my swamps. I can remove something or buff something. And for the 6 ability, my swamps tap now for 4. So it's really helpful. Then we come to the artifacts I used for this deck for helping me. And of course, you need the One Ring. It's just, I don't no explanation needed. But I think in the near future this card will be banned. But for now it's really helpful for gaining a lot of cards. So just an awesome card. Then I also play this Sword of the Animist. This also, when the creature equipped attacks, I can search my library for a basic swamp, basic land. And then put it tapped on my field. This helps me also get my swamps on the field. Same goes for the Sword of Heart and Home. Just as a little bit from protection from green and white, but the useful thing is when it deals combat damage, I can exile up to 1 target creature I own and search my library for a basic land, put both on the battlefield under my control, then shuffle. So I have a lot of enter the battlefield triggers, so the sword's really helpful for the deck. And I also play the Sword of Blade and Cells. This just helps me with a lot of entering the battlefield triggers that happen when they have Myriad. It's really fun. Also, if I put it on a Nazgul and attack with it, I get 2 more Nazguls and they all trigger. But just think with all the other creatures in this deck you saw, that is helpful. Of course, I play Shadow Spear. This gives my creature +1/+1 and trample and lifelink. It's really helpful for your commander to go through. But also to, for one, I can make all my opponents lose hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn, all the creatures they own. Of course, one of the best artifacts revival cards is Altar of Bill. For 3, for sorcery, I can make a 4/1 tapped skeleton and then cast it for 2. And then for 3, tap it, exile a creature I I control and then return the target creature card from my graveyard. But keep in mind, it's only has sorcery speed. And then the one I told you about, the one of Orcus. So when a equipped creature deals damage to an opponent, I create that many 2/2 zombies. This is one of the best and coolest zombie making cards I think there is. And you just go bonkers with it. And now for one of my, I think when I play this sword, they are really, I killed some people with it. I'm talking about Vorpal's sword. The equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has death touch. But if the creature deals combat damage to the player, I can just pay 8 and then he loses the game. So it's really a really fun card. Really, it's just really a cool black card. For my sorceries, I play Extend Grenade. Just like I told you, with all the mana that I want to make, I want to do something with it. So this card is like almost a game finisher, or really helps you get all your life back. The next sorcery card I play is Reanimate. Just helps me with reanimate something maybe big to get back on my field. And the next card I will show you that also helps me make finishing the game, Stormlord of Hellfire. So they have to repeat this process and the much mana I spend on it, or they lose 3 life, or they sack a null and permanent, or discard a card. But if they cannot do something, they just lose 3 life. And I've finished some games with this card. One of the good board wipes, Nightmare Unmaking. It exiles stuff with bigger or fewer cards in my hand, with the power less or higher than the cards in my hand. So I can also choose something like not to exile or everything. Of course, I have to play Grim Tutor. This helps me search for the cards I need. The same goes for Demonic Tutor. And the same goes for Vampiric Tutor. Just helps me search the cards I need. And there's an instance, by the way, the last one. Then for another boss wipe, Toxic Deluge. It's really happy. Everything has the indestructible, but I don't care. I just pay 20 life to make them all be destroyed. Another board wipe I play is of course Damnation. If you play black, you have to play Damnation. I also play, of course, Living Dead. Sometimes the enemy has also creatures in their graveyards, but hey, sometimes it's a very funny thing to do. And there are like 30 triggers with all players, so it's really a really fun card. But also I can just discard my whole hand in one time and then play this one, and then everything gets revived back. Then of course you have to play Rise of the Dark Realms. Just return all creatures from all graveyards under your control. Really fun card. Of course, for my zombie orc making, I play from under the floorboards. I can discard this card with my commander to trigger its madness cost, and then I create a lot of orcs on my field and gain a lot of life. Because if I discard it, I can play the madness cost. And another orc making card will be the Army of the Damned. Just create a lot of tokens. Then we come to the last thing, are the enchantments. So the first enchantment I play is Phyrexian Arena. No explanation needed, just helps me with drawing cards. The next card will be Necromancy. Just put something from our graveyard into my field and attach it to it. The same goes for Animated Dead. Just reanimate something from a graveyard and equip the creature to this equip. The enchantment goes on the creature. Of course, the next card I play is Whip Erebos. This gives everything of me lifelink, but I can also return stuff from my graveyard, but they have to be exiled in the end step if I use this ability. But it can only be cast as sorcery speed, so you have to be keep in mind. One of the fun things about my commander is when they do combat damage to me, they have to sack one creature. Well, this enchantment, called No Mercy. So whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, destroy it. This is really fun. And they will never attack you again. And of course I play Black Market Connections. It's a good card. I gain a lot of life in this deck. And also helps him by creating a treasure or a draw card. Or create a shapeshifter that also is a red. I also play the Myth of Massacre, of course. By losing my opponent life and I gain life and that kind of stuff. Just a good board wipe. And the last card I will show you is Call of the Ring. And every time I have this in my starting hand and one Nazgul, then it's a really fun game. So that was my deck profile of the Witch King of Angmar. I hope you enjoy it, and I made this deck with a lot of passion, and I really love playing the color black and be the bad guy in Magic the Gathering Commander. And yeah, that was my deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next deck profile. And the next one I'm going to do is, of course, I did now my evil deck, and I will show you my Gondor and Rohan deck in the next deck profile. So I'll see you next time and have a great night. Bye bye.